I think. Right. Cool. Now let's move on to writing. Mhm. Okay, so let's read the question once. Writing task 2. In a number of countries, some people think it is necessary to spend large sums of money on constructing new railway lines for very fast trains between cities. Others believe the money should be spent on improving existing public transport. Hmm. Discuss both views and give your opinion. So this was easy, no? You are on mute.
Almost easy, but matlab, I exceeded word limit, so I had to cut it short.
How many words?
I wrote around 300 words.
Okay. So this happens when we like a topic or we have a lot of things to say. Hmm.
Yeah, maybe.
All right. So I'll read it again. Some would argue that it is important to spend more money on building new railway lines for super fast intercity trains, while others say that existing public transport should be improvised. These are funds using the available funds. Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm. Yeah. Although the development and maintenance are necessary, I believe it is a necessity. It is missing. I believe it is a necessity that huge funds are allocated in. With allocated, you also use to. Allocated to. Hmm?
Okay.
Allocated to laying down new tracks for high-speed trains between cities. Hmm. So the word necessary was somehow repeated. I believe it is crucial, critical. You can use these
Yeah.
words also.
Mm.
On one hand, a few people believe that money should be spent on improving existing public transport. ये बात तो पहले बोल दी ना. Why repeat it? So instead, you can say, considering the first view on
Okay.
improving the current public transport, as it is readily available, offers better connectivity, and is a cheaper option to travel. Okay. So these are the reasons why existing transport should be improved, right?
Mm.
It should be maintained well, and new buses and trains should replace old ones periodically. Periodically, spelling error, triple L, periodically, yeah.
Oh, sure. Okay.
For example, a report published by Times of India, the Times of India, use the complete name. The Times of India found out that a bus purchased once is used for almost 20 years until it gets redundant. Hmm. Okay. So what's the problem here? Like, are you referring to the point that buses should not be used for 20 years?
Not more than their actual time of use, or maybe matlab, if we are using it for more than 20 years, it will be like the
It,
government buses which we had at our time.
yeah, so it will be like a piece of scrap. It will
Yeah.
not be comfortable. People won't like
Mm.
it. Yes, that's true. So instead, you can write that buses which are usually used for almost 20 years should be disposed of or recycled in around 10 years. So maybe you can give a solution to this problem also, no?
Okay.
Hmm. Because the context is about improving existing public transport. Yeah. So how can you improve it? By purchasing or putting the new buses on road, new infrastructure on road. Okay. So that is one view. Then on the other hand, a chunk of
पॉपुलेशन का साथ हो सकता है आई डोंट नो
हो सकता है, a large chunk, small chunk, a significant chunk,
सिग्निफिकेंट आ सकता था
a significant part बोल दो अगर chunk में confusion हो ना. A significant part of the population says says that large amount of budget should be spent on construction of novel railway line. Large amount of budget.
मुझे मनी के साइनोनिम्स नहीं मिले आई वाज आउट ऑफ इट
Budget में problem नहीं है. Large amount can be used in a different manner. So you don't really need a large amount. Maybe you need some percentage of the total budget. So presently, if they are allocating 5%,
I wrote it like this because in question they had asked it like this.
hmm,
Uh, हाँ. Some people think it is necessary to spend large sums of money on constructing new railway roads,
hmm,
railway tracks, or whatever.
hmm.
Other believes money should be spent, not more, not less.
Okay.
So I considered that in my answer.
The money should be spent. So the same amount of money, large sums of money. Okay, okay, okay. In that way, large part of the budget, you can write this way. Large part of the budget should be spent on construction of novel railway lines for very fast trains connecting different cities. After getting operational, these trains will reduce the time of travel intercity, which will prove to be a great convenience for people living away from their hometown. For example, in India, superfast trains were launched between the capital city Delhi and Una, which drastically reduced the time of travel from previous 12 hours mere to a mere 5 hours. To a mere 5 because this is a smaller quantity. Yeah. Hmm. Okay, okay. Where is Una?
Himachal Pradesh.
Oh,
Should I mention it here?
no, no, no. I'm just thinking about it. In conclusion, although already present public transport must be repaired and upgraded periodically because of the benefits it has, I firmly believe that advanced developments are necessary, comma, so so you can remove the comma after so, necessary, comma, so funds need to be allocated accordingly to the building of modern high-speed trains track. Hmm, 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 hmm. Building of modern high-speed trains tracks, not one track but tracks.
Mm, what was written in this?
The question, railway
Railway
lines.
line. But can it be used this way then? High speed trains tracks.
So the trains refers to the multiple trains. Multiple trains need multiple tracks. So that's it. All right. So this is good. So you have discussed both views and you have given your opinion, right? So you believe in both the views. You want to emphasize that both things are important. Upgrading is also important, while newer innovations are also important.
Mm.
Mhm. Okay, all right, cool. So this was 300 words, you said.
No, now it is 270 words, which I reduced eventually proofreading.
Oh, okay, okay. So how long did it take this entire task to with proofreading?
It took around an hour, I must say. 50 minutes or 55 minutes with proofreading, with brainstorming.
That's too much.
Yeah.
Hmm. Okay, so what can we do to reduce the time spent here? Obviously, these are
Mm,
important steps. Proofreading is important, thinking about the ideas is important. All these steps are important, but the time we spend on these steps,
that
we can.
time I can reduce the time only when I write it. So what I can do is when I actually think about it, I can make an overview of all the paragraphs what I have to write in each one of them,
Uh-huh.
and also the detailing or example should, because where I lost my time was
Hmm.
I actually wrote the paragraph number 2 in, it is now 74 words and I wrote it around 90 words. It
Okay.
included infrastructure and also the stations of trains which were there since independence and haven't been touched and maintained since then, since that time.
Hmm.
I had talked about that also. So what I can do is to keep my word count in check and also my time in check.
Uh,
I can just stick to one idea.
One idea
Don't,
for both views.
yeah,
One each.
stick to
Hmm.
one idea for each of the views
Uh-huh. Right.
or one paragraph.
Hmm.
Because I tried inserting one more idea of regarding the stations and all,
Hmm.
which was infrastructure, and that is when I changed my introduction also. Although the development and maintenance, I wrote infrastructure and maintenance, development of infrastructure. I'll send you the
Notes.
previous, no, previous thing I have.
Write up.
We have here, if you can read it.
Okay. Okay.
It had lots and lots of mistakes, which I
Buses,
corrected.
trains, bus stations, and train stations should be added added between.
ये बात करने का कोई सेंस नहीं था, आई फील.
So you are referring to adding bus stations between long journeys.
I was referring to adding buses and trains between stations and improvising or improving or maintaining stations, which was not making sense here.
Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. So it's still related to no.
It was related to, but the word count was increasing.
Mm, it is improving the existing infrastructure in a way by adding something new. But yes, this is not really necessary in a way.
Yeah, that's what. That is why I cut short it and make it short and sweet. Made it.
वह वंदे भारत Launched between capital city. Okay, this is good. It's a clear example. Mhm.
Oh, I deleted the name because I was trying to reduce the word count.
Okay, okay. But remember, examples help you to put forward your point. So if the example is clear, you don't have to explain a lot more. So yes, focus on the example more. Everything else will take care of itself. Yeah,
I think I must write only one line before example and explain it in detail in example
through the
with the
example.
example.
Through the example. Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. Try it out tomorrow.
Then,
Let's see how it goes.
okay. How's it today?
It's good. I mean, the time part, if we ignore the time taken, then it's really good. You know, if you can write this in 35 minutes, even 40 minutes, then yes, that would be good. 40 minutes is also a little too much because then you are left with only 20 minutes for the first task. And I think the first task also requires 25 minutes or something.
First task requires only 15 minutes if you do understand what you are presenting at in the initial 5 minutes.
Yes, the pre-writing task, you have to understand what you want to write and you know make a mental map. Introduction में ये डालेंगे, body paragraph में
A
लिखेंगे.
mental map doesn't work. I don't believe mental maps works because I make a mental map in case of a task two and they don't work. जब मैं लिख रही होती हूँ it is something else नहीं नहीं ये डाल दे ये ज्यादा अच्छा है that is what I feel they don't work.
So write down points. You will have a rough paper here. Write down the points. Write down everything that you can think of in those 5 minutes. Then remove the unimportant points and use 2 or 3 points to write down. So that will keep your write up and time in check. The number of words and time both will be in the limits, within the limits.